this is Madison. I'm glad you're tuning in for another episode of Plaza Vlogs. Today we are doing a Q&A about Plaza Theatre Company. So I occasionally perform at Plaza, and I also work there as a stage manager, and now I work full-time doing marketing, and I love it a lot. So I'm going to answer some questions about Plaza. We're going to start with, what was the first show? So Plaza's first show was in 2007, and it was You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. Our next question is, how do you audition / what is the audition process like? Those were two different questions, but they're pretty similar, so I'm just going to answer them together. So auditioning is pretty simple. You go onto our website, plaza-theater.com, and you can make an audition appointment and you fill out some information. Then you come in and you either sing or you read. And then if they want to see more of you, they'll ask you to come to a callback, which is where you sing and dance and read and do more stuff. And then if they'd like to cast you, you'll get a call and they will offer you a role. So for our next question, we're going to go to Aaron Seiler, and the question is, how did Plaza get started?
So here's the shortened version of how the Plaza Theatre Company got started. So believe it or not, Jason and I met each other when we were 18 years old in 1988 in a small liberal arts school in Idaho, and we were in the theater department there in a production of A Christmas Carol. We became very good friends, used to hang out constantly. And once we were just talking and we said, hey, wouldn't it be kind of fun if we started our own theater company, just kind of in passing. So we lost contact with each other, the years progressed, and then I believe it was in 2004, 2003, around there, Jason and his family moved to Texas to help the Artisan Center Theater get going in their early days. And at that same time, my family and I, we were living in Garland, Texas. And my name came up in passing. He goes, hey, I know that guy. He gave me a call and we reconnected. And I would actually drive out to Artisan. My wife and I did, to do a couple shows there. It was a long drive for us from Garland. And I said, hey, remember when we said we were going to start a theater company? Maybe we should do that. And, you know, actually he and his wife wanted to start their own theater company as well. So we were kind of talking about it. And just about that same time, these guys from the Downtown Cleveland Merchants Association, his name was Jackie Vincent, was on their board. And he went and talked to some folks at Artisan about coming out and doing shows in Cleveland, because they talked with these guys from Downtown Inc. and they said, what you need is a catalyst downtown, something constantly running, something going on all the time that people can come to. And live theater was one of their best suggestions, just like what they did at Sundance Square in Fort Worth. So he went and talked to the guys at Artisan, and they were like, well, there's no way. We're kind of busy doing our own shows here in our theater up here in Bedford or Hearst at the time, I think it was. And then he talked with Jason. He said, do you think you'd be interested? He said, well, I don't know. Let's sit down and talk. And so Jason and I went and sat down and talked with him and the entire people from the Downtown Cleveland Merchants Association. They gave us a little bit of seed money, promised more, which did really come through, but we did get some seed money from them in the beginning and got started. And in a found space with a theater building that had poles in the center of the stage. It's now at 208 South Main. And we were there for a year, and then Mr. Dudley came in and helped us remodel our other theater, which is at 111 South Main, which is now the Plaza Main Street Theater. And then, of course, now in the beautiful Dudley Hall. So that is how the Plaza Theatre Company got started in a nutshell. There's a whole bunch more to that story, but that's the basics of it.
So our next question is, what is it like backstage? So backstage, it's very nice at Dudley Hall. We have a great space. We have 2 dressing rooms and a little green room area, which is basically like an area with a couch where actors can wait and hang out before they go on stage. And then behind the theater, there is a long hallway that goes to the 2 back entrances. There's also a restroom backstage, if you didn't know, and it's awesome. So for our next question, we're going to go to our production manager, Lindsay Batt, and she's going to be talking about how long shows take to make and how far in advance does the planning for shows start.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Batt, and I'm the production manager for Plaza Theatre Company. I am here today to answer a couple of questions. The first question is, how far in advance does the planning for a show start? Well, the first step of planning for a show is the producers will apply for the rights after they decide what shows they're going to do. That's about a year in advance. For instance, right now, our producers are looking at shows that would be perfect for the 2021 season of shows at Plaza Theatre Company. Once those shows are decided on, we apply for the rights for those shows. If we get the rights for the shows, we take those shows to our board of directors and they get approved by our board. Once the board approves those shows, we select our directors and production team. That's a job for the producers and artistic director. And once the director is selected, they're off and running, researching everything they need to research for that show and working with each production team member. The second question is, how long does it take to make a show? I'm sure they're referring to the rehearsal process. So once the production team is selected and everybody is in place, we have our auditions and callbacks. So our audition and callbacks will take place, and once that happens, we cast the show within a few days, and then we start our rehearsal process. Our rehearsal process is about 3 to 4 weeks, depending on the show. We like to have about 21 to 23 rehearsals before our tech week. And once we do that, we are ready to go and we are off and running. Thanks for your questions, and we hope to see you soon at Plaza Theatre Company.
Our next question is there a theater ghost? So I would say no. I don't think there are any ghosts at Dudley or Main Street that I know of, but if you know differently, let me know. So Jason Barris is answering our next question, which is, how do you choose shows for the season?
Okay, so Madison asked me to give an answer to a question, and the question was, what is the method that y'all use for choosing the shows that you produce at the theater? It's something that we take really seriously because we know it's one of the most important things that we do all year, making that decision. It's we're choosing basically our product that we're going to be offering to our audiences. So we go through a very long process where we vet many different titles. We have our group of producers that meets over a series of weeks and months, actually, before we finally settle on the season. It actually also includes requests to the companies who own the rights to the shows to determine if they are available and if they fit within the time frame that we're wanting to use them, and they don't always make those shows available at those times. So it is a constant puzzle that we're putting together, probably over a 3-month period. Of course, it's influenced by the types of shows that we want to do that are part of our brand or our model, which is to be family friendly and to be very entertaining and uplifting. And that's something that we always consider when we choose our shows as well. So I hope that answered the question for you, and I appreciate you asking.
Next question is, how many times have you done Christmas Carol? So we did Christmas Carol a bunch, but we've done it in 2007, 2008, 2010, 2012, and my first year doing it, 2014, then again in 2016, and then the most recently in 2018. Tina Barris is answering our next question, which is, how do you join?
Hi, so thanks for your question. Enrolling in classes is super easy. All you have to do is go to Plaza-Academy.
Our final question is, would someone who hasn't acted for a while be overwhelmed if starting with Plaza? So I would say no. We work with plenty of beginners, so I think you wouldn't be overwhelmed. It's a really warm and welcoming environment at Plaza, and they work really hard to make sure everyone is comfortable and feels appreciated on stage and off stage. So I would say no. Plaza works really hard to make sure everyone feels comfortable. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this was fun and informative, and if you have any more questions, leave them in the comments below and I will come answer them. Thanks, bye!